Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is, does the Clippers losing by 50 points prove that they need Kawhi Leonard? So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, be sure to check out our Dreamerspro Podcast, which we have linked in the description below. Be on the lookout for our Dreamerspro premium platform that we're launching the first week of January. And also be on the lookout for Dreamerspro.com, which is our sports website, which we're very eager to launch. And we're really excited about to get the year kicked off in the right way. So be on the lookout for all of those things. And we'll definitely keep you guys posted in that. So let me just get into this topic right here. So y'all saw what happened last night with the Clippers losing that game, right? And it was very obvious. It was very easy to see that Kawhi Leonard did not play in that game. Now, am I saying that the Clippers cannot lose a game with Kawhi Leonard on the floor? Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying. But it was pretty damn obvious that he was not playing in that game yesterday. Now, there's something that I heard on the major news media just about a week ago. It was Stephen A. Smith on ESPN First Take talking about how he believes that Kawhi Leonard has not been worth it to the Clippers thus far. He's not been worth it. So before I go too far, I want you guys to take a listen to the audio of Stephen A. Smith explaining to us simpletons why Kawhi Leonard has not been worth it to the Clippers. So please take a listen to this audio right here.
Well, first of all, I think you're wrong, but understand, not only is he not galvanizing, but he is dividing indirectly, because if you take into account the beef between Montrezl Harrell and Paul George, assuming there's truth to that, which obviously I've heard, well, where would that stuff with Paul George come from in terms of how Paul George and Kawhi Leonard was being treated? Remember, Kawhi Leonard was a two-time NBA champion. He was a two-time NBA Finals MVP. But Paul George was receiving similar treatment, even though he had never even been to the finals, let alone capture 2 championships and 2 NBA Finals MVP. So where would that come from? It would feed off of Kawhi Leonard, because Kawhi Leonard made Paul George's arrival a condition upon him arriving with the Los Angeles Clippers. See, this is where the accountability comes into play. Again, if I'm sitting up there and I'm a marquee free agent and I tell you this is what I want in terms of money, all right, okay, I'm good. But when I sit up there and I say, not only do I want this money, not only do I want these perks, but I don't give a damn what you have to do, get that guy too. And I do that, then there's a level of culpability and accountability that I have to a franchise that ascends compared to the average person out there. Even LeBron James didn't do that. He went and joined D. Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami. He elected to take his services back to Cleveland. Kyrie was already there. Of course, he wanted Kevin Love and what have you, but Kevin Love was looking to get out of Minnesota because he hadn't been in the playoffs in his first 6 years there. Then he goes to Los Angeles. Yes, he wanted Anthony Davis, but he arrived a year before. So he came not even knowing if they were ultimately able to get Anthony Davis. Kawhi Leonard sat up there and held the Clippers accountable in that regard. So when you do all of that, okay, in LA, knowing Ballmer's got a new arena coming near where the LA Forum used to be, knowing that you're trying to compete with the Lakers as if that's possible, knowing the backdrop of all of this, and utilizing that to your advantage, not only to get what you want monetarily, but in every other way imaginable, thereby forcing the Clippers to damn near mortgage their future. You owe them more than 27-7, or being an elite defensive player, or an all-star. You owe it to them to do everything you possibly can in order to win. And my last point is, I don't know Kawhi Leonard like that. We say hi and bye. For all I know, he's a great guy, nice guy, the whole bit. I'm not trying to cast any aspersions on him. I'm just highlighting for you what the Clippers situation is. And based on that, Kawhi Leonard has not been worth it thus far.
Now, in that soundbite, you hear Stephen A. Smith talking about, all of the things that Kawhi Leonard requested and, how he's supposed to galvanize the troops and all of these different things. And then at the end, he's not been worth it to the Clippers, right? That was basically pretty much the thesis of everything that he was saying. Now, let me ask you this question. Y'all have heard Stephen A. Smith talk about James Harden, these guys, right? Players that never won a title. Players that never won a title, Stephen A. Smith will give him praise and, unstoppable, and what he brings to a team, and da-da-da-da-da. Yet, he's sitting there talking about Kawhi, a 2-time Finals MVP, like I said, the guy, the guy's roadkill. What's the big deal about it? I mean, I don't see what it is. Like, what does he bring it to the team? Go ask the Raptors about that. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Since he's not been worth it to the Clippers, let me ask you guys a question. What was the last time in the history of that Clippers organization that the Clippers had a top 3 NBA player in their roster? When was the last time that we can say definitively that the Clippers had a top 3 NBA player in the NBA? When was that? Who was the player? There was no player that the Clippers ever had that was a top 3 NBA player. If I had to think about the best players that they had in the last 10 years, Chris Paul and Blake Griffin. That was about it. You're not going to say DeAndre Jordan. You're not going to say Tobias Harris. You're not going to say Lou Williams. You're not going to say any of these guys. I think it was Chris Paul and Blake Griffin. Now the Clippers have a top 3 NBA player. That alone should tell you that it's been worth it. Now, after watching these guys blow that 50-point, blow that game against the Dallas Mavericks yesterday, and losing by 50, it was clear to see that Kawhi Leonard did not play that game. There's no way in hell that the Clippers would have lost by 50 points to the Dallas Mavericks if Kawhi Leonard played. Now, obviously, I'm not making excuses for the team because they had no business coming out there flat-footed and really just not showing up. They had no business coming out there and dropping the ball like that. I don't know if they felt a sigh of relief after beating the Lakers on opening night and then beating the Denver Nuggets and felt like, okay, listen, we're back and we're in our groove. It's a different team. It's a different season, and we're not going to have a repeat of what happened last year. Sure, maybe they felt that, but for them, and maybe that was the reason that they just weren't prepared, but there's no reason for professionals to go out there being paid all that money to perform, and then you go out there and lose by 50. In that first quarter, the game was over within the first 6 minutes of that game. Like, within the first 6 minutes, it was done. The Clippers looked like, they couldn't buy a basket, and the Dallas Mavericks were clicking on all cylinders. And once Luka Doncic gets into his bag and he starts distributing, and then, he starts Euro stepping to the paint, it was pretty much over. They could not slow those guys down. And, there's no reason for that. And you put the blame on their top players, and you put the blame on the coaching staff for not having those guys ready to play. Now, am I going to now jump to the extreme and say, oh, because they lost that game by 50 points, now they suck? I won't, but a lot of people will. A lot of people will, and it's usually the people that tell you, oh, man, it's only one game. It's only 2 games. What's all the hype about? And the same people that will come up here and talk, oh, it's only one game. What's the big deal? What's the big hoopla? It's the same people that will now be, jumping on your comments. Oh, they lost. What do you have to say? That's the same people, right? So these people, you don't even take them seriously because they're just there trying to antagonize people and get responses out of people. But, and you don't take those guys seriously because that's their job. Secondly, there are a lot of these people that like to come to the, I'm a Lakers fan. You're a Laker hater. Okay, let me say it for you. I don't even know what to call you guys, right? Let me just say this. Maybe because you're early to the party and you haven't been on the channel for a while. Let me say it. I'll say it again. I've said it before. Kobe Bryant is my favorite basketball player of all time. Let me repeat it again. I wish I could say it in German, French, Spanish for some people that maybe don't understand English. Kobe Bryant is my favorite basketball player of all time. I'll say it again. He's my favorite basketball player of all time. So how is it possible that I'm a Laker hater, yet I've been supporting Kobe for his whole career? Explain to me how that happens. How does it happen? I'm not you bandwagon Laker fans that jumped on the bandwagon as soon as you saw LeBron. No. I've been supporting that team for a very long time. Shaq and Kobe. So please just spare me with the nonsense. Oh, you're a Laker hater. And how am I going to be a Laker hater when Kobe's my favorite player of all time? So some of y'all need to cut that out. Because you're saying stuff is not even true. Like, you don't even know me, but yet, you feel like, I can have an opinion. Just stop. Kobe's my favorite player of all time. If you hear my top 5 NBA players of all time, I have him ranked number 3 behind Kareem and Jordan. So please cut it out with that you're a Laker hater. Y'all don't know what y'all are talking about. Y'all just out there trying to comment and have conversations with people. So in my opinion, I think this proves that the Clippers absolutely need Kawhi Leonard. And it also proves that Stephen A. Smith doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to Kawhi Leonard. How can a 2-time Finals MVP not be worth it to a team? But that's Stephen A. Smith, and that's what he gets. That's what he gets paid to do. I don't know why he does that, but that's what he gets paid to do. So what I want to know from you guys is, What do you think? Do you think that this loss proves that the Clippers do absolutely need Kawhi Leonard, or do you think they really don't need him? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, be on the lookout. Also, be sure to check out the next video that we have linked in the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, you're definitely going to enjoy that one. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamers Pro. Wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.